In the Derica, 250, and now it's 400.
Almost every day, people are knocking on my door, begging for food, begging for support.
Africa is currently facing the worst food crisis since 1945. According to the UN, more than 20 million people in sub-Saharan Africa are facing starvation.
My children didn't eat for 3 days and then died because their mother couldn't feed them. I know it was the famine that killed them.
The United Nations has raised alarm over the unprecedented food crisis in southern Africa. 45 million people face severe shortages, according to the World Food Programme. Zimbabwe is the worst hit, with 7.7 million people, that's half the population, suffering severe food shortages. And 1/5 of the population in Zambia, a regional breadbasket, is struggling to feed itself.
1 head of cabbage, some cooking oil, a little bit of salt, and about 3 cups of rice is all Emma Kajiri has left in her kitchen. She says she'll have to make it last as long as possible to feed her family of 8. More than 8 million Zimbabweans will not have enough food by December if there's no urgent intervention. That's roughly 60% of the population.
150 million people in 55 countries are in crisis. That's an increase of around 20 million people from 2019. People in Burkina Faso, South Sudan and Yemen are also facing a catastrophe and need urgent action to prevent widespread death and total collapse of livelihoods. Thousands of people are also dying of hunger in Yemen, South Sudan and northern Nigeria.
The food crisis is getting worse. We pray to God to bring these to an end.
In sub-Saharan Africa, where most of the world's food insecure live, the situation is only getting worse, punishing countries that did little to cause the problem.
There was food, it was rotting in the farms.
Charity is the safe place of the world's oppressors.
To suppress local food production continues today through structural adjustment programs imposed on African countries by the IMF and World Bank, as well as opening up access to African markets for American and European food producers. They forced African governments to eliminate subsidies for their own farmers.
Once proud farmers and herders have now been reduced to depending on foreign aid.
The World Food Programme says there has been no response to an appeal it made for humanitarian help for people facing hunger in Madagascar. More than 1 million people in southern Madagascar will need food aid this year.
C'est un programme qui est mis en place par Rockefeller et Melinda et Bill Gates. Quand ils vont partout, c'est avec leurs ressources.